Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the mostly Marvel podcast. I got it right.
You did.
It's episode 210, the epic conclusion, or I don't know, what do you call it? We're doing Spider-Man Far From Home. After this show, we
Well,
would have talking about every MCU project in some
right.
podcast form or another, up to date.
At the very
Um,
least, for anybody who's listening to the playlist, this is the final film in the Infinity Saga.
Don't even get me started on the playlist, dude. I reorganized it last week. Oh my god. Um we've done a lot of shows.
Yeah, we've done 210 plus. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool though, right? Like I think it's awesome that we're finishing not only the Infinity Saga, but also this show's finishing every single MCU project that's ever been on screen. I guess not the DVD like one shots. Those are the only things we haven't done.
You're gonna do those?
That's up to you, sir.
I mean, one of them is relevant for Wonder Man.
We could do all of them all at once, just one episode talking about all of them. You know, I don't hate that.
Well, we'll see if we commit to that. We're down. The chips are down, and we need content for the week.
But the reality is, we have done every like major MCU property.
No, we've done everything MCU. Yeah,
except for the thing I just listed. Yes, but yes. And then it's Spider-Man 2. We talked about we talked about Homecoming.
Oh,
what?
You said Spider-Man 2. We're doing Spider-Man 3.
No, this is Spider-Man 2.
What the fuck are you talking about?
This is
Far From Home is the third Spider-Man movie in that trilogy.
No, it's not. Did you watch the wrong movie?
Oh no. Okay, you're right.
Oh my god.
This is the second one.
Yes, this is the second
one. I watched that one.
And we are probably thinking about, he did appear in Civil War before, but so that kind of feels like a Spider-Man movie, but no.
We're watching. Weird, man. It like exists in a weird spot in this universe.
It does exist in a weird spot in the universe, but that I'm not going to hold that against the movie. But we will be talking about this movie later today. Now that we are all on the same page, that we are talking about 2019 Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, that
the epilogue to the Infinity Saga, whatever you want to call it. I think that's the official term, the Infinity Saga. But before we get to that, we do like to waste everyone's time by talking about whatever we've been up to this week. Nerdy is preferably the topic.
I've been playing a shit ton of Arc Raiders. I love that game.
Okay. What is it you like about that game?
It's a nice little zen. So you go into the map, you loot your stuff. It gives me like when we used to play The Division. You kind of do a lot of that. You go into a zone, loot a bunch of shit, and then come back out. They do matchmaking in a way where if you're an aggressive player, you get put into a game with other aggressive players.
Okay.
But if you're typically passive, it's just like a chill spot. So you'll be garbage or picking up trash in some sort of area, and then you'll see like another guy walk up, and you're like, hey, and you say hey, and then you maybe do a little trade, and then you come out of there. So it gives that little community niche that's I think it's a little bit more nuanced than like a Fortnite, but there is also that looty shooty bit where if I'm just feeling sketch, or if I like what you're wearing, I could kill you and steal your shit. But it's also kind of hard to kill people in that game. Like it's even if you have high level stuff on you, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win, because there's also like a NPC element in that game that will certainly fuck you up.
Okay, I'm feeling like it's kind of like the DMZ zones of The Division.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. All
Instead
right.
of walking around, there's like these little drones walking around, and,
Okay. All
and
right.
the drone tech's pretty cool. Like the way it spots you, and you have to hide from it.
That sounds
But
kind of fun. How much was that one?
it's like $30. It's a budget game too.
Okay. Okay.
Um, aside from that, I started watching Tron Legacy, or not Tron Legacy, Tron Ares. It's on Disney Plus now. I don't know how the fuck you do a Tron movie without Tron. I need to finish it, but uh, it is crazy to me in the year 2026 that, or I guess 2025, that people are still casting Jared Leto. I don't think the leading man. Like I, I think at best you can say he's damaged goods, right?
Yeah.
So when you put him as the face of a franchise, he's just so polarizing that it just tanks
Yeah.
any potential that movie has. And it's kind of a bummer because I really like Tron. And it sucks that we're probably not going to get another Tron movie for like another 10 years.
Can I add something to your story?
Hmm.
I did watch all of Tron Ares this week.
What'd you think?
I actually did not hate that movie. I do think it's a very bad movie, but I enjoyed it way more than I did Morbius. I also enjoyed it more than I did Tron Legacy.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I don't think it is a
Like
hot take.
holistically, the music.
The music is good in that movie. The music is good.
In Ares?
Yeah. It's
Nine Inch
really good.
Nails did a good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. I don't think that Jared Leto is in any way the part of the movie I enjoy, but I do like the different I like the parts of it when it goes back to the original Tron
Yeah,
game.
that is I
That
had seen
is
that scene, and that is some cool stuff that they're doing
Oh wait,
visually to shoot that.
so you've never watched the whole movie?
I
Oh, you
watched.
never went to see it in theaters because it didn't have Tron in it, huh?
Yeah, that's my protest.
Oh, okay. So I just spoiled the movie for you because you
Oh,
haven't gotten.
I know what happens. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that scene makes a lot of bad things go away when you get to that scene. It's really cool.
I kind of want just give me that movie again.
Yes, I agree. I do agree with you. I'm not saying like I did say I don't think it's a good movie. Like I think it's a bad movie. I think it is, but it's a bad movie that I could enjoy watching. I actually watched two bad movies this week. I also watched A Working Man with Jason Statham, written by David Ayer and
Oh, I
Sylvester
thought you watched it
Stallone.
last week. This TV show?
No, it's a movie. Oh, you know what? I might have watched it on. I might have finished it on Tuesday last week. You're right. I think I finished that one last week. Or no,
we talked about it last week.
We did talk about it recently, huh? Yeah, that one's not great either. But it was enjoyable in the way that a Jason Statham movie is 100% predictable and dependable. Like
that man has Meg money now.
That's Chinese money, right?
I think it's actually 10-cent money, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Which I
sure
guess
it
is
yes.
Chinese company. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting flagged right now for that one. That's cool. Yeah, no, the only other thing I can think of that because I've stolen the conversation now. The only thing else I've nerded out on is I found a video game that I am in love with called Absolem.
What's that?
It's from the people who made Streets of Rage 4. Dotemu. Streets of Rage 4 is like a really beautifully and like 2D animated fighting beat 'em up game, side scrolling. that's
You're on your beat 'em up thing still.
I am, but this one got crazy because Absalom is a fantasy universe, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing, but it's drawn very cartoonishly, very beautifully hand drawn also. And the it's a 2-player co-op game entirely. So like even if you choose to play single player, there's an AI companion that rolls with you. You know what I mean? But the coolest part about it is it's a roguelite. So it actually follows like a lot of the wonderful gameplay mechanics that Hades had.
You're naming things that don't
You've never
appeal to
played
me.
You've never played Hades?
I have, yeah.
You don't like Hades?
I don't. What are those games called?
Roguelites.
Roguelikes. I'm not too big on roguelikes.
Okay.
Which I guess, to be fair, Arc Raiders is kind of like that.
Yeah, right. That's why I was kind of confused. Like, why you wouldn't?
But
I thought you liked roguelites.
Maybe I don't. I don't like Hades. I guess is a better statement.
Okay. Well, the thing I like about Hades is that like there's a story in the game. It's not just going through the level over and over again. Every time you come back, every time you die and come back to your hub, you get new dialogue. Like you get new lines of dialogue. So like, and I'll tell you, man, I have beat Hades well over 100 times, and every time I come back, they still have new dialogue to give me. It is insane the depth that game was developed. But the cool thing about Absalom is it's a similar experience where every time I come back, there is new stuff to like learn about the story that's going on. I wouldn't say that they went as crazy as Supergiant did with Hades, but it's impressive. It's a fun game, and like the controls feel really good when you're beating people up. Like they really use the vibration of the controller to make you feel it. You know what I mean? So it's got a good feeling. You know, like when you pick up a good shooter game and it just feels right. Like that's what Absalom feels like. So, but Lindsay and I are quite addicted to that game. We picked it up like over the weekend. And if I wasn't doing this right now, we would be doing that. It's great. Highly recommend it. I found out about it from Ron Funches on TikTok.
Oh, that's funny. We were talking about Ron Funches. He's because Selena's watching Loot, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. Ron Funches. I like Ron Funches for his comedy, and then I'm like, oh, he acts. And then it's funny because like I guess the Trader, the show, the reality show, is starting back up again, and he's on that too.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, they showed a picture of everyone on the show, like as part of the commercial. I'm like, that's Ron Funches. I'm like,
I think they're doing like Celebrity Trader, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, if you were a comedian and you were invited to be on a game show like that, you would do it, right?
I think if you're a comedian and you're getting invited for any work,
yeah, exactly, right? So there you go. That's a good gig. But yeah, you should look up videos of Absalom because I know I will not do a good job of convincing you.
I did beat the second episode of Control.
You mean Dispatch?
Or Dispatch, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Control. That's a different game.
That's a very different game.
Still good. I like that game.
Okay.
I need to beat it. But I see why it's gotten the awards that it's gotten so far.
Yeah. I mean, the second episode is... I kind of consider the first episode to be like a prologue, and the second episode is when the real game starts.
It did make me re-log into Steam, where I remembered that I have access to like a good chunk of the Telltale games that I've bought just throughout the years. Okay. So I'm like, maybe I'll go through The Walking Dead again. Maybe.
I've been watching Beast Games.
I don't like Mr. Beast, so I don't watch that show.
What don't you like about Mr. Beast? Is it all the
Uh,
philanthropy, the way he donates all his money to good charities and stuff?
I think the hmm, that's part of it. I think that is definitely part of it.
You don't like that he does that?
I don't. It's not so. What's trying to think of the right word? Not altruistic.
Really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. There's a lot of interesting reads on Mr. Beast and what he does, and the people he chooses to align with. Not necessarily the greatest. But who knows? Who cares? He
Fair
will
enough.
probably be our president in 20 years. So, um,
He probably will.
which also sucks on a billion reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just don't like. It's funny. Like I a job ago, I had to sit in for an interview for a creative role that we were hiring for, and one of the people interviewing, Jeff's like basically quoting like Mr. Beast ideas or like marketing strategies, and I could not want a person to shut up even like more than I did in that moment. Like it was just so like annoying. Um, but anyways, how is Beast Games? I don't want to yuck your yum.
Oh, I'm not really married
There's
to it.
celebrities in that show too, aren't there?
I don't remember. I like to background watch it for sure. I think it's dramatic enough to be
Mm-hmm.
funny, but I don't really care. And they don't let you really get to know a lot of the people very early because they start with like 100, or in season 2 they actually started with 200 people. And so they're not going to spend a lot of time getting to know them. So, but if there's celebrities, I haven't paid attention, or
He
they're
got
not.
sued for the first season, right? Because like
Did he?
people were like freezing to death
Oh, okay.
in some of the games.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think they did it in Las Vegas the first season.
mhm.
I think it was during the winter or something like that. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, Squid Game people were suing too, right?
Oh yeah, that game show. The true, true,
Yeah.
true, true.
It's people expect a certain quality of life, and then they show up for a like a low budget game show where all the budget is the prize money. So, and they
Did
have
you
better
watch
expectations.
any of the Golden Globes?
I have seen some of the acceptance speeches.
Mhm.
I know that Ludwig won for Sinners, the score. I
Mhm.
know that um, K-pop Demon Hunters won for best song.
Mhm.
I know that uh, what is it, Rhea Seahorn from Pluribus? Is that how you pronounce her name?
I don't know.
The main actress from Pluribus won that best acting award. What else can
Yes.
you fill me in on? That's all I know.
I don't know. Golden Globes. Timothy Chalamet won. Um,
For Marty Supreme?
mhm.
Okay.
I feel like if anyone's up for the MCU, it's probably him, right?
I don't
Youngish,
know.
but I can't think if I want him to play.
He's pretty huge. He's pretty huge right now. So
Yeah,
he might be too huge, like Robert Downey huge.
he needs to go to rehab and then come back. That's when they get him.
Yeah, that's when they get him. Yeah.
All right.
Who was there any win that surprised you, or that you were excited about the most?
I think I'm still on the K-pop Demon Hunters high. I'm happy to see that show or that movie get all the accolades. I do think it does. I was very happy during the Snoop halftime show that we watched together. That they actually got to sing a different song
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they've been pimped around. That's a bad word. I feel like they've been like shopped around to all of the like network shows the past like couple months since that movie, and they just sing "Golden," which
They
is
do.
fair, a great song. That song is the reason why they're there. But there's other bangers on that movie. So I wish they would sing the other ones.
Yes, like the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yes. Should we do some news?
Yeah, do it.
Update from last week's Sebastian Stan in the Batman news.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
That's who you're getting. You're getting the Dent.
That's what we assumed, right?
That's what we assumed. That's what you're getting.
Cool. I'm sure he'll be good.
Does he need to have? Does he need to turn into Two-Face? Can he just be like Billy D. Williams?
He doesn't have to turn in for that movie. He does not. It's better if he doesn't.
Do you prefer Harvey Dent as like Batman's best friend, or like a different? What's your flavor of Harvey?
I just know that the recontextualization of the story when Frank Miller did Year One, and then really it's when Jeff Loeb did Dark Victory and Long Halloween, is that which I feel that the Batman universe is based a lot off of, like, is taking influence from like the early days of Batman. It's how it is in that comic too. So it's bad. It makes it a more fun story because you're kind of like waiting for it, like you know it's going to happen, but you're not sure when, and then it goes like multiple comics before it finally happens. You're like, oh, okay. Cool. So I could see that would be fun if Sebastian Stan actually like signs on for 2 movies or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's cool to see that it's 3 people trying to protect Gotham City. It's Harvey, it's Batman, and it's Gordon. So you got to see them early when they're a team first. So, but I also do feel like we got that pretty good in the Dark Knight, right?
I mean, you get a good. I think
there's
for
a good arc for Two-Face in that movie.
They do a good job of condensing that story in a nice way, where by the time you get to a Two-Face, the Two-Face beats have happened in a satisfying way.
Yes.
Right.
It's a long ass movie too.
Yeah, it's also a long ass movie.
It's a really long movie.
Speaking of what will be another long ass movie, the 4th Avengers Doomsday trailer was officially released online today. This one featuring the Wakandans and the Talokans, Talokinians.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce
the Talokans.
I think it's Talokans. Yeah,
and Ben Grimm meeting in a desert, and that's really it. But I think we were talking last week when this leaked, but it's probably the best of these 4 teasers because it's an actual teaser, A, and B, it's featuring all the new characters that we've gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Shuri and
M'Baku and Shuri are old school, but yes, but the Shuri, the context of Shuri, as
Shuri,
the Black Panther,
Shuri in her Black Panther suit,
is a newer in the last 5 years.
It's definitely, they all got new suits, but they're interacting with the Fantastic Four, or at least a Ben Grimm. This is the movie that we're seeing.
I want the movie that I want to see. Yes, I want to see them justify the last 5 years. You know what I mean? And I think it's cool that we're finally doing it. I guess we'll say the last 4 years. No, 5 years. 5 years, right? Yeah. They get a buy on 2020. But yeah, I really just enjoyed it because I think it's gonna play out like you said, where I don't love that Fantastic Four movie, but I think they're all great at the characters. And so I wanted to see the toys play with each other, and now we got it, and it was a very nice, charming little punchline to a teaser, for a movie. And I think it gives me just enough that now I'm intrigued. All the ones the weeks before, I'm like, I don't need more member berries. I want to know how we're moving forward with the story.
We have a lot of geniuses in this movie. I guess in the MCU at its current state, what's like the genius ranking? Would it be presumably Doom, Reed, Shuri, and Banner?
Well,
who is the smartest person in this universe?
I don't believe that Doom is ever smarter than Reed. I think that's probably why he loses to Reed all the time. But two, I think Reed has to be the smartest in the universe because Tony's dead, and Reed created teleportation devices in the last movie. Like, he perfected teleportation just on a whim. Just like have you seen the New York that they live in? The assumption is their New York looks that different because of Reed's existence. Yeah. Because of all of his inventions. You know what I mean? Like, he has reshaped the world in his image. He's definitely the smartest person there is. Like, yeah. I would like for Shuri to be humbled by Reed. It feels like he's next level. I mean, maybe they could be impressed by each other's different, divergent technologies. That's fine, but at least acknowledge that he is.
I guess the one limitation of which it kind of makes sense given that universe, but what is it? There's a big power issue, right, with Reed right now. Sorry, not power. Like, he's limited by the resources in his time/universe, at least in that movie.
Yes, so but also he's coming to a universe that's invented time travel.
Yes. So,
or discovered time travel. So you're giving him more opportunity. What would be really sick is if they chose to go the ultimate route and make Reed the villain of the universe.
That's the Maker, right? Not the Maker.
Yeah.
It's the Maker?
Right.
Yeah. The Maker's relatively new, right?
Yeah, it's Ultimate Comics. So
okay. Yeah.
Only in the last, but everything they mine from is always from the last 20 years.
Yeah, but I thought the Maker was last year.
No, he's older than last year.
Okay.
Yeah. He appeared in Marvel Rivals last year.
Did he really?
Yeah, there's a Maker suit you can get for.
Yeah. Well, on the Rivals topic, Deadpool's finally coming to the game.
Okay.
Officially on, I believe, the 29th. He has a interesting character set because he is not one, not two, but 3 different classes that you pick before the start of the game. So he can be a duelist, a strategist, or vanguard, depending on how you want to play him. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you'll see him along with a new map, the Museum of Contemplation, on the 29th.
Are you going to check it out?
I've been playing it off and on.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I've upgraded my setup now, so it's I have a gaming monitor, and I finally get to see the difference of what a higher refresh rate does on a game like that. So it's I get it. It's a little smoother.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's really funny because we were so lame on New Year's that we just wanted to stay home and play Fortnite at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, just so that we could see the fireworks in the game. And then our real plan was just to stay up until midnight, just so we could say Happy New Year and then go to bed. Mm-hmm. But so one of the things we did to fill time, because we didn't want to play games the whole night, is I literally booted up Marvel Rivals for the first time in months, and we just checked out all the crazy characters that they've made in that game, like and the costumes, and it's really my relationship with that game is so weird because it's really beautiful to look at, but I don't like playing it.
If they can like crack, like Overwatch to me feels great. There's just a snappiness to that game.
I don't think that game feels great, but it feels better than Rivals.
That like yeah, if Rivals could get to that point, it would be the better game in my opinion.
Yeah. It's gorgeous to look at though. Like, and I really do love seeing all the character models that they put in there. But we were looking because you told me about Loki, but not there yet.
Not there yet. Loki's the next one.
Okay.
But yeah, kudos to them. They said they were gonna do a new character a month, more or less, and they've been keeping that promise. So
yeah, they usually do. Yeah, each season's like 2 months, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Good for them. What else you got? You got any more news? Or are we ready?
That's it. I'm ready.
Are we ready to finish this experiment?
Yes. Spider-Man No Way Far From Home came out 2019, directed by
John Watts.
I'll say Reggie Watts. I'm like, that's not right. Starring Tom Holland, Ben Mendelsohn, Samuel Jackson.
I love that you went with Ben Mendelsohn first.
Zendaya.
Ben Mendelsohn's in the post-credit scene. JB
Smooth and a bunch of
Kobe Smulders. The cast of this movie is honestly insane. It's pretty.
The guy who plays
nuts.
Chameleon.
Yes, that's Numan Akar.
A bunch of people.
He plays Dimitri. Yeah. I got to tell a story before we go into this one really fast because I potentially started another family's drama yesterday because like I have people that come and help me out in the mornings to get ready for my day, and I was watching Far From Home on Saturday, and this person that was helping me, she looked at this movie, she's like, which one's this one? I don't think I've seen this one. And I was like, oh, I don't know how you missed it, but she's a mom, whatever, she's got a lot of stuff going on. So she's like, I think I'm going to go home and watch that one today. And so she went home and watched it on Saturday, right? She came to work yesterday morning and told me, I love that movie. It was really fun. And I said to her, what did you think of the fact that they brought the actor who played J. Jonah Jameson back? Isn't that crazy? And she looked at me and said, what are you talking about? And I said, did you watch the credits? And she said, no, why would I do that? At which point I explained to her that for the past 18 years, there's a known thing that you stay to watch the credits of a movie. And you happen to have missed probably the most important mid-credit scene of any MCU movie, arguably. We can rank them later. We can rank them. We can do the top 5.
I don't think it's top 5 at all.
Really? I think it's because normally they're funny jokes, but this one actually impacts the story in a huge way. You know what I mean? But anyways, I taught a person that, and she insisted that her family must not know about that. And I was like, I promise you they all know about it. And she's like, no, I think they would have told me, right? She went home and had a whole argument with her family because they all called her dumb for not knowing. That's a PSA, really, people, that it's 2025 or 2026 now. It's 2026. You guys gotta know. You gotta know. Just watch.
I don't believe that story.
You don't believe the story that she
I'm
didn't
not
know?
saying. Yeah, I don't. I'm saying you're lying. I'm saying she's. There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way. No, I really do believe she doesn't know. Um, it's okay.
Um.
It's okay. But I
Well.
understand. I understand that you would believe that she did. She does because they're so important to the story. And I think that this movie has one of the best mid-credit scenes. I guess we'd have to debate that later, but I think it's the cherry on top of a wonderful movie. And I every time I watch this movie, I do not understand why people don't like this movie. Um, Please, if you are one of those people, Ricky, take the floor and try to convince me. But I absolutely love this movie every time I watch it.
I like this movie. Am I defending my stance on this movie? No.
No, if you feel the same way, then we can have a fun night talking about why we feel that way.
I like this movie. I think it's a good Spider-Man story. Um, I think they were put in a really interesting position given the untimely death of Iron Man. Not that they
Well,
didn't have notice of his death when they're writing this movie, but I'm sure
it they couldn't market it.
yeah, they couldn't mark it came out. So I remember watching the trailer. Hey, we didn't get a trailer for the movie for like 3 months until it came out.
It was the shortest time frame to a trailer,
Mhm.
to a release, right? Like I think it was. I remember how incredibly annoying you were when you kept saying, "Where's my trailer?" Oh wait, no, that was the third one.
The third one also had a very short
Yeah, yeah,
cut.
yeah,
Um, to be fair, I am kind of pissed with the Doomsday stuff because they typically usually you show things in order, right? You don't tip your hand to what's like Doomsday is not the next movie, it's 2 movies down. We have a Spider-Man movie on deck. Granted, it's different studios, but still. Show me the thing that's coming out next, not the thing that's coming out, you know, in
Well, you know
the
why they do that, right?
yeah.
It's because it's two different studios, and Marvel cares more about the money they make for Doomsday than they do the money that they barely make for Spider-Man.
Yeah. I know
Sony,
this.
yeah, Sony. I'm just making sure everybody knows that Marvel gets a small percentage of Spider-Man movies because Sony only gets the money from Spider-Man movies.
Mhm.
Um, it's their lifeblood. So,
But
but yeah,
no, this is a good movie. This was, we get to see I don't want to say like a fully realized Tom Holland Spider-Man because the dude came from fighting in fucking space, but we get to see him kind of think on his own for fight his own battles as he will. If that's a better way to put it.
yes, it's more him on his own than he has been so far in this universe. And I know that that's annoying to people because they don't like that he was, defined by his relationship with Iron Man, but I think it's what makes him unique, and I think it's what makes him fun, because it's a version we haven't seen before on screen, And so I think that this is a really this movie makes a lot of choices, and originally it was not meant to be part of Phase 3. This was supposed to start Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but they
Mhm.
decided, like at the end, like when it was coming out, that it was such a perfect epilogue to this real, uh, emotionally heavy story that they concluded on, that they wanted to have this epilogue be this fun comedy that brings a little bit of levity to a really heavy situation. You know what I mean? So this movie starts with freaking. I mean, aside from the weird Nick Fury and Maria Hill scene where they encounter the Sandman monster and then Mysterio for like 5 seconds, the movie starts with uh freaking Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You," and it's a stupid high school in memoriam montage of the Avengers that we lost at the battle, for against Thanos. And so it starts in a really weird place of like, okay, we have to explain some things, and then they explain like conveniently the entire cast of this movie got blipped. They explain like the funny awkwardness that happens when a teenager now was 5 years younger than you when you last saw him, and now he's super hot and it's weird and awkward. There's a lot of funny jokes at the expense of the blip. There's like you see the marching band reappear in the middle of a basketball game, super funny and awkward. But I promise you, this movie intentionally refuses to tell you any of the tragic stories that probably also occurred, because
No,
everybody's speculating.
you save that for we got some of that in
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We got some of that in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie, the mission of the movie is pretty clear up front, right? Be funny, be a Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what this movie excels at for the whole time. Is it gives us a solid Spider-Man movie that doesn't have Iron Man in it, so we don't need to rely on him this time around, and it gives us comedy, which John Watts has proved like he's really really good at. You know what I mean? Like he inserts those moments in there that make it feel like something you've seen before when you were younger. And what I think I love the most about Far From Home is it fulfills a trope that's very burned into me, which is for every awesome high school coming of age story that I ever watched, there was also another awesome high school European vacation comedy that had to happen too. You know what I mean? Like, and I love me some Euro Trip. I love me some National Lampoon's European Vacation. I love what is it? License to Kill. Or no, If Looks Could Kill. If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco. There's so many stupid movies that I've seen that this movie perfectly borrows from, to create this hilarious story where Spider-Man is traveling to Europe to have fun, but he gets roped into a spy thriller where he has to do spy games with and team up with Shield and get a new disguise and get a new fitting for a new suit and all this stuff. I've seen all of these tropes a million times over, but it's so awesomely funny with Tom Holland, his delivery, Sam Jackson, stepping in to be like the veteran of the movie and stuff. And it just never stops being funny. And then what grounds it hilariously is Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Like every time you're having fun and laughing, he shows up and he's very charming, but he also brings it down to a more serious, like, hey, there are stakes here. The planet is gonna die. It's all bad stuff. And then you find out that he's actually a bad guy, and the stakes are still pretty high, though, right? He's still threatening the world that we live in.
Well, it ebbs and flows, but they loop it back around. They give him good reason to be a Spider-Man villain, right? When they finally do that reveal, his whole beef with Spider-Man at that point is like, this guy can like out the whole operation, and I need to kill him. Like that's the right amount of motivation he needs to.
Otherwise he would have never bothered to lift a finger to mess with Spider-Man, right? He's like, good luck, kid. Yeah, it's kind of like the Vulture, right? Where Spider-Man was really interfering with the Vulture's operation. But it's not at a point where Spider-Man is like, we should be on the lookout, guys. I hear Spider-Man's patrolling. No, it's not like that. He's still at that level. We're like, oh, you're such a nuisance. You're just annoying enough that I have to kill you. That's a really cool place to like. I like the way you saw that in this, because like that really scales where Spider-Man is on the totem pole or whatever you want to call it. The rankings of superheroes. Like they just don't take him seriously, even though he went to space and saved the world.
Yeah. But he also, I mean, the other interesting thing in this movie is he meets Mysterio, like them knowing each other, him knowing his identity was not like a secret in this movie, right? Because they're both quote unquote working for Shield to stop this fabricated like threat.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives really good context to like why Mysterio's there, B, why he knows Spider-Man, and then you further find out that he has beef with Stark, right? And that beef kind of gets translated over to Peter or Spider-Man on top of that. So
Right.
like in terms of like compelling villains, I don't think Mysterio ranks up there, but
I think
for
he's pretty
checking
compelling. I think he's
well
pretty compelling.
for checking the boxes for why he's there, why he's mad, and why he hates Spider-Man, it does everything in a really nice like
Yeah, it's a nice package, right?
nice package, and they even loop it back to Iron Man 1, which is even the biggest like or the bigger um callback.
Yeah,
Because I don't think they've done something like that up until that point where they've gone back and referenced something from literally like
all the
18
way.
movies, like 18
Yeah,
movies up until this point.
they got
So like
Peter Billingsley to reprise his role.
Ralphie,
He's Ralphie from Christmas Story, but he is also the head of the toy shop in Elf, directed by Jon Favreau. So Jon Favreau has had an existing relationship with Ralphie, and so that's how he got him to be an Iron Man. But I think it's really it shows every time. I think it's always the job of the Spider-Man movies, right, to make the deep cuts, right? Like think about the principal in the first in Homecoming, right? That's a deep cut. They intentionally they're like, we want the guy that was in the Howling Commandos in Captain America to be the grandson of or the grandfather of the principal of this high school. They do that a lot, and it's pretty cool to see. And that's why you were referring, jokingly when we were talking about the beginning of the credits of this movie. You were saying, and the chameleon, because like we don't ever. I don't know. Maybe one day they will fulfill that one, but they give you somebody that fits the bill, and you're like, oh, that's probably the chameleon, or
I
it could
mean
be the
like
chameleon.
5 years down the line when they need a chameleon, you got a guy already.
Exactly, right. And I think that's really cool that they're taking notes, they're keeping receipts, right? Like
Mhm.
that's what the Spider-Man movies, that's their little niche, is they have all the receipts on everything that ever happened and how it could tie in to Spider-Man's universe, and it really does a good job of making him feel connected to this universe, like he's always been part of it. You know what I mean? Like even his villains have been part of it the whole time, and I think it's a really cool thing to see. But I think the other thing that I really enjoy about it is like Jake Gyllenhaal's character, what he's doing. Did it hit you more now than it did 5 years ago or 6 years ago when you watched this? 7 years ago. God
Like what
damn.
way?
In that he's altering the media constantly that people are consuming, so you never know what's actually real or not that you're watching.
I didn't take it that deep into it, but I
But
did
can you
like
acknowledge that that is a problem that we have more now today than we did 7 years ago?
yes,
Okay, that's all I'm
but
saying.
I
I mean,
I like the translation. So Mysterio historically is a Quentin Beck in the comics is kind of like a C-list villain for the most part. He's a special effects
mm,
guy, and that his power is faking that he has powers, right? By using smoke
I,
and mirrors to trick Spider-Man.
I would say he's an A tier Spider-Man villain, but that's fine.
But I think what we got here with the drones and the VR tech was a nice modern day translation
Oh yeah, for sure.
of his power set.
Is it VR or is it AR? I think it's
AR,
AR.
I guess it's technically AR. And it lends it lends reason for like the ridiculousness of like how he looks and the orb, the dome, and all the
Oh,
other
he
shit. Like,
yeah, everything fits perfectly, right?
mhm.
Like he's got a tailor that's working on a new version of the suit, for his big debut and everything. Like he's saying you know what he is? He's the ultimate con man, right? Because he's taking advantage of people at one of the weakest points in human history, right? We are all recovering from something that they're not going to talk about in depth, right? But you can connect the dots, right? That
Mhm.
world is recovering from the greatest tragedy that's ever fallen on mankind, right? Not just mankind, on the universe, but we can't contextualize that. But I'm saying, like, half of the planet and universe disappeared in an instant, and then 5 years later they all came back. And there are tons of implications that we're not going to talk about in this movie about what that means for society. But Mysterio knows that this is the perfect time to show up as a new hero that can do wondrous things and has this wondrous story, and people will eat it up.
Well,
And it's
yeah, and even as the audience, before you get the reveal of what he's actually doing, you kind of
yeah,
buy the bit, right? Like, oh, he is
he's
I
a
guess inside
multiversal
it is
traveler.
sure.
He's a
Yeah, we're doing
multiversal
that.
traveler that has encountered, that has battled these elemental forces that tore his planet apart. And you're like, okay, I mean, looks legit, like even Shield thinks so. They're like, sounds good to me. You want some help? Should we get Spider-Man to help you out? And he's like, yeah, that would be great. But we find out really that the reason he's targeted Spider-Man for this whole thing is because Spider-Man is the recipient of Edith, right? Which is
Mhm.
Tony's glasses that he sported in the last few movies, actually, right? I think
Mhm.
he was at least wearing them in Infinity War.
He's
I don't.
had them since Civil War.
Yeah, he's had them since Civil War. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And so again, another callback to like an accessory that he's been rocking for many years. But this thing has control of all of Stark Tech's resources, right? Pretty
All I'm
much.
saying is, where would Edith during that final fight? He's
I know,
could
right?
could probably done a little something with that Iron
Mister.
Man.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that fight. Yes, you're talking about the Endgame fight.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying is he was in space by. I don't think he. Oh wait, no, he wasn't in space.
they
Yeah,
built
I
an
don't know.
entire fucking Infinity Gauntlet on this planet.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had
And a
those
time
glasses for a minute
and a time machine.
and a time
And
machine.
yeah, and a time machine. Yeah, I'm not. Hey, we've already talked about this. There are holes you can find in Endgame. There are many, many holes. All right, but we're talking about Spider-Man, and I think they did a really good job of giving him another test for his mantra, which is, with great power comes great responsibility, because he is given access to this military grade technology that Tony has probably been developing to serve as a shield around the planet, right? That's always been his goal. He's got this stuff up in space. He's got satellites. And the first thing Peter does is accidentally sick a drone on his classmate. Then it's going to kill him. And it's hilarious. It's a funny sequence, but like that's when he becomes you know, a teenager again. Like every now and then we ground him by making him feel like a real person, and he's going to make dumb choices, right? And so he makes a dumb choice that he just wants to be a kid, and he wants to give these glasses to Mysterio because he's obviously an awesome hero and stuff. And that ends up biting him in the ass really fast. And I think it's a really cool thing that, in hindsight, right? We know that he
Mhm.
finally gets the true, with great power there must come with great responsibility message in the third movie, right? And so it's nice to see him making these mistakes each movie, right? Like he's making these mistakes in Homecoming, he's
He's
making them here
learning a
in this one.
Spider-Man ism.
Yes, he's learning it. But it's over the course of several adventures, and I really
Mhm.
think that just it endears me to this movie even more, knowing how beautifully the third one ends. It's a gorgeous thing, and I honestly, I gotta say that the fully animated CG battle between Mysterio and Spider-Man, or illusion. It's not really a battle, right? Like Spider-Man just gets mollywopped for the entire segment. That is one of the coolest things to this date I have ever seen in the MCU. I love it so much that I can never hate this movie for any reason. I love this movie too much because from the moment Peter realizes Mysterio is a bad man, for the next 15-20 minutes, he is taken on this crazy illusion psychedelic trip out that's like in the style of Steve Ditko, that is just, it's absolutely one of the most gorgeous things I've seen in a comic book movie. And so yeah, it's just great. It makes me feel like I'm watching the old cartoons. It makes me feel like I'm reading the comics. It just captures the spirit of Mysterio. And so yeah, like you said, they translated him beautifully. Like the update they gave you Mysterio still found a way to give you classic Mysterio experiences. And so that's, yeah, it's
to
really
kind
hard.
of like to put a pin towards the end of this movie, we get the reveal that J. Jonah Jameson's back.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, that Mysterio outed Peter as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And
And by
you
Mysterio,
now
we mean Peter Billingsley probably did, because Mysterio was dead by the end of the movie.
yes.
Yeah, but his team, Mysterio lives on
his
because of the team, right? Yeah.
And you kind of get this, I guess what would be the biggest subversion from the Raimi films and the Mark Webb
Andrew
films,
Garfield and the Mark Webb. Yeah.
Garfield film, where this will now be a new thing that we have not seen the Spider-Man have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think they kind of wrapped that shit up pretty quickly in the third movie, but the high end of
not without massive consequences.
Not without consequence, but they do wrap up the people knowing his name.
It takes the whole movie. It takes the whole movie.
If he didn't go,
it's the whole damn movie.
It's the whole damn movie.
Yeah.
But it's like a nice cherry on top of this film to have that moment, right?
That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I agree. I agree with you. Yeah. I think it's what it becomes one of my favorite mid-credit scenes of all of the MCU, because it set up a story and it set up a whole lot of speculation for like the next few, God, how many years? How many years did it take before we got that movie?
Like 3
years, right? Because of COVID. Yeah. It's and when that movie finally happens, it really does. It's so satisfying because it really does continue from where we left off. And I think that's cool, because I don't think enough MCU movies do that. I think a lot of MCU movies give you like cliffhanger, and then they pick up relatively somewhere adjacent to that, but not directly. You know what I mean? But Spider-Man left you with such an impactful cliffhanger that they had no choice but to continue from that exact moment on. Yeah, that's why I love it. It's great. It's an awesome movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is, every time I watch him again, I'm like, you know what? I think he might be in my top 5. He's pretty damn good. Like, he's a different kind of asshole. You know what I mean? But I don't think, but I think he still sells it, you know. And then the supporting cast is hilarious too, right? Like all his classmates and his teachers and stuff like that. They just do shenanigans. And like, again, like Martin Starr as Mr. Harrington, right? Like, that's supposed to be the same guy from the Incredible Hulk movie. That's hilarious and weird. So yeah, there's so many things to like, that I understand that one of the biggest criticisms is that the over reliance on Iron Man and making people Iron Man's villains instead of Spider-Man's villains, but like the end result's the same.
It's a good foil. Yeah.
The end result is the same. and the spirit of the characters is put on screen, you know, like that's yeah, like the person that I had to educate on credits, post credit scenes, she was asking me like if there's any movie or show that like has really like what percentage of those of the comics is represented in them. And I usually say, I say like probably actually like 1%, but it's really just because the comics have been around since the 60s, or in the case of DC, right, the 30s and stuff like that, and they come out monthly, and so there's just too much story to ever put on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But the 1% is not accurate if you're looking at it from the context of the spirit of what of the intent.
I mean, that's where
and
all
so
MCU lives in. It's the spirit.
yeah,
Spirit zone. Yeah,
that's all the MCU can do because of the nature of movie making and TV making, right? Is it takes too damn long. Like you got to be careful, like especially when you're working with young actors, because they're going to age significantly in between movies and stuff like that. And so that's how you end up with multiple Cassies. It's just awkward. But yeah, the movies can only show up every couple years. And so what they can do, the best they can do is capture the feeling of reading those comics or watching those cartoons and stuff. And I think that Far From Home is just way up there on my list of pulling off the vibe that they needed to. And also MJ, now we're not angry, right? We're not like, who the hell's Zendaya? By the second movie, we're on track, right? We're like, oh, okay, now Peter likes MJ and MJ.
Yeah, you get an MJ, you get other Spider-Man players and this.
Yeah, but they're actually doing the love story now. They're not trying to subvert it anymore, right? So while they're subverting other things, they are now getting you on track for the things that you need to see happen in your Spider-Man story. And it's a really cute romance that takes place in that movie. Like it's adorable. It's very teenager. It's very innocent. It's very let me hold your hand kind of thing. Like maybe I'll get one kiss at the end of the movie. It's not like the teenage movies I used to watch where like Porky's and stuff like that.
I was gonna just say Porky's, and
you were gonna say Porky's, weren't you? I beat you too.
It's funny. One of my older, I used to work with seniors, and one of them referred me to watch Porky's. Because obviously they watched it as a kid, and I got the movie I loved as a kid, and I watched that movie, and I'm like, none of this can like happen again. This is crazy.
Yes,
this movie's insane.
It's true, and that's what I love about John Watts is he's dialed in to the perfect vibe that's to
the Porky's crowd,
to the not Porky's. Like it's this episode is sponsored by Porky's.
I'd be sponsored by Porky's, sure. I'll take any sponsor.
But yeah, no, it's John Watts is just dialed into like more of that Ferris Bueller vibe, you know what I mean? Like right there in that sweet spot where it's just innocent teenage humor with a little bit of edge to it, and I think it makes it a very charming experience to watch the whole time. So, but yeah, I really love that we found a way to work Porky's into this conversation. That is a win for me. I think that might be my new goal for the rest of 2026 is how many episodes can I squeeze Porky's in there and make it make sense. No, probably not going to do that. But we did it, Ricky. We did it. We're done.
Hooray!
We did the entire MCU as long as we continue doing this until the MCU dies before us, hopefully.
What do we got next week?
Well, we talked about doing Constantine.
We are doing the not DC movie Constantine
with Keanu Reeves.
For next week before
Wonder Man.
We dive into Wonder Man. We got to figure that out because it also comes out on Tuesday.
And they drop all episodes.
Ooh, might be a later show that week, but we'll figure that out after we get off this one.
Yeah.
We'll tune in, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. And with that, true believers.